I'm Amy, and I'm a pastry chef. I started my journey in the food service industry officially when I was 14 as a dishwasher at a little diner that's no longer open called Renee's. I worked my way up to being a line cook on the secondary line, so I did pizzas, pastas, wings, salads, etc. After that, I started working at this little place called Tim's Fish and Chips, where I was a server, cook, and a dishwasher. It's a small place, so I did a little bit of everything. After high school, I went to Calgary to attend SAIT's Baking and Pastry Arts 2-year diploma program. The first year is kind of all of your basics, and then the second year is more fun stuff like sugar, chocolate, showpieces, wedding cakes. I had a lot of fun, and I met a lot of really talented, amazing people. Between my first and second year of SAIT, I had to get a summer internship where I started working at this place called Market. I ended up getting the opportunity to make chocolate bonbons, very colorful ones. My pastry chef at Market then took me with him to open up a new restaurant called Provision, which is no longer open, but it was a fantastic learning opportunity on the logistics of opening up a new business. After that, I started at this place called River Cafe with my pastry chef, so that's 3 restaurants and counting, 5 if you include sister restaurants. But he eventually left and I took over as executive pastry chef, where I got the fantastic opportunity to create my own menu and run a pastry department. It was a very rewarding experience, but I knew for myself I wanted to go someplace where I could prove that I was a talented and capable pastry chef outside of my mentor. So now I work at a restaurant in downtown Vancouver called Ancora, where I am the executive pastry chef, and I'm really proud of the work that I've done there. I started my journey towards being a pastry chef when I was maybe 5 years old with a simple cookie. I remember watching the dough come together and just being fascinated by the fact that all of these ingredients combine together to create such a delicious little snack. Everyone should work in the food industry at least once in their life, and I especially believe everyone should be a dishwasher. But it's not an easy job. There are the people with the passion and the people there for a paycheck. All in all, we work together to serve our communities, and that's the most important thing to me. Would I recommend working in the food industry long term? It's not a career for the faint of heart, let's just say that. There's constant chaos, long days on your feet, it can be physically and mentally draining, and I always seem to be putting out fires, sometimes literally. Just know that when you go out to eat for good food, good conversation, and good atmosphere, we're in the back working tirelessly to serve you. Now let's talk about something more fun. The art of plating and creating a new dessert, which is my specialty. If you're looking for inspiration, the internet is obviously a great place to start. Instagram is a nearly bottomless pit of pictures. But for me, I either start one of 2 ways. The first is with a concept for a main component, whether that be a cake, a tart, a panna cotta, you name it. Or I start with a flavor combination that I'd like to play with. Once I figure that out, I figure out the other, and then I think of ways to make the dish texturally dynamic, because you don't just want one mouthfeel while you're eating a dessert. Whether that's adding a crumb, a twirl, a chocolate garnish, or maybe all 3. I figure all of that out in the planning stage. Here's a trick that I learned. You can actually pair 2 things that don't typically go together. So if flavor A and B go together, and flavor B and C go together, A and C don't necessarily have to go together. Take, for instance, chocolate, orange, and mint. Mint and orange, traditionally not a flavor combination that anybody goes to, but with the addition of chocolate, you can make it work and make it dynamic for an overall enjoyable dessert experience. I usually go into plating a dessert with some semblance of an idea of how I want it to flow, although it doesn't always translate to the plate, and then you just kind of have to work with what you got. Regardless, some of the things that I personally consider when I'm plating a dessert are flow, shape, negative space, and color. So how can I take what I have and make it flow onto the plate? Am I working with round shapes or blocky shapes? If there's not enough color, do I need to add microgreens or berries? And obviously by creating negative space, you're drawing the eye to the components of the main dessert. Every aspect of making food is intrinsically creative. The problem lies in the fact that we have to do it every day, which makes it become a chore. We need to start romanticizing the mundane in our lives. If I can leave it on anything, I'll leave it on this. Find a recipe you want to try, get the ingredients, and have some fun. I'm gonna go finish this cookie.